The year is 2035. Elon Musk's dream of a city on Mars is no longer a dream. The first ship has landed, a single foothold in a new world. But this is just one ship on a dead planet.
The ship has landed. But how do you turn one rocket into a city for 1,000 people? You start by solving the first and most important problem: power.
The ship is not a habitat. It is a construction kit, packed with an army of robotic builders. The first worker sets foot on Mars, an autonomous rover, ready to begin the most ambitious construction project in history. Running on its own power, the rover's mission is to build a power source for everything else. Its first task: to deploy the main power grid, a massive, flexible solar array.
The initial power comes from the sun. These are thin-film, flexible solar arrays designed to be unrolled like a carpet.
A team of 2 is needed for the first deployment, a synchronized mechanical ballet. To connect the team, a tether is fired, a crucial link across the Martian soil. A perfect catch. The 2 rovers are now connected, ready to begin the great unfurling. Unrolling the solar farm, a 100-meter-long sheet of high-efficiency photovoltaic cells laid directly onto the Martian dust.
This thin-film material is less efficient than rigid panels, but its advantage is density. You can pack kilometers of it into a single Starship.
Anchoring the array to the surface, protecting it from the thin but powerful Martian winds. And the first power flows, a trickle of energy captured from a distant sun. But 2 rovers are not enough. An army of 10 is deployed to build the main array. Day after day, the rovers expand the farm, creating a multi-acre power station with relentless efficiency. The result: a 10-acre solar farm, built entirely by robots in under a week.
5 megawatts. Enough power to run a small town. A major engineering success for the first phase of construction. But it's not enough. To create fuel and air, the base needs a chemical refinery. And that refinery is a monster.
The first Great Wall, the solar farm, as massive as it is, can't provide the industrial power needed to build a city.
And the greatest threat to a solar-powered city? A planet-wide dust storm, which can block out the sun for weeks. Solar is good for starting, but it's not a permanent solution. For that, you need a power source that doesn't rely on the sun.
The solution arrives on the second ship, the heart of the permanent power station. A new kind of power plant, designed for the harsh Martian environment. The answer: nuclear, a small, simple, and incredibly reliable fission reactor.
This isn't a complex water-cooled reactor. It's a kilopower design, a solid block of uranium system.
The design uses a heat pipe, a simple and robust technology to transfer the immense heat of the core. That heat drives a Stirling engine, a simple piston that has been used for over 200 years. And the piston moves a generator, creating a steady, reliable flow of electricity. But a nuclear reactor needs to be shielded. The first step: dig a hole. The reactor is lowered into the ground. The Martian soil itself will be its primary shield. Buried deep beneath the red sand, the reactor is safe and secure. A lifeline of power, connecting the nuclear heart to the growing base. And the nuclear heart beats, a constant 24/7 source of power, immune to dust storms and the dark of night. Solar for the day, nuclear for the night. A hybrid grid, the foundation of the first Martian city.
With the problem of power solved, the real work can begin. Now, they have the energy to build a civilization. With power secured, the next great challenge emerges. Not just to survive, but to live.
The surface of Mars is a death zone. Without a magnetic field, it's constantly sterilized by solar radiation. And the temperature swings are extreme, a 100-degree drop every single day.
You cannot live on the surface. The only way to build a permanent, safe city is to go down.
The solution arrives on the third ship, the primary tool of Martian construction. A next-generation tunnel boring machine, designed by AI, built to conquer the rock of Mars.
This isn't just a drill. It's a subterranean factory on wheels. It digs, removes the debris, and builds the finished tunnel.
The digger is assembled, a 100-meter-long subterranean machine ready to carve out a new world beneath the surface. To begin, the TBM needs a launch pit, a massive trench dug to position the machine for its first cut. And the great work begins. The first cut, the start of the first Martian main street.
Boring on Mars is different. The low gravity is a challenge. This machine uses these hydraulic grippers to brace itself against the tunnel walls.
A continuous process. The machine grinds the rock at the front and expels a steady stream of debris out the back. An automated train carries away the excavated rock, keeping the path clear for the advancing machine. And as it moves, it builds. A robotic arm erects concrete segments, creating a perfect finished tunnel as it goes.
But where does the concrete come from? The secret is using what's already here, the Martian soil itself.
A concrete factory on the surface, using the excavated rock from the tunnel to 3D print the next section of the tunnel wall. The train returns, carrying the finished walls, made from the very rock the TBM just excavated. The first street of Mars Base Alpha is paved. 100 meters a day, a relentless march under the red sand. But a concrete tunnel isn't airtight. To create a breathable habitat, you need a perfect final seal.
The solution is a new kind of sealant, a two-part epoxy mixed with Martian dust. It foams up to fill every microscopic crack.
A spray-on sealant made from the Martian dust itself. It seals every joint, every crack, creating a perfectly airtight environment. The first habitable space on Mars is created, a shelter from the wind, the cold, and the deadly radiation. The tunnels are the streets, but a city needs rooms. The TBM carves out massive underground caverns, the future homes and laboratories of the base. A hidden city takes shape, a network of tunnels and caverns, a new home for humanity, safe beneath the sand. The first section of the city is sealed, and for the first time, a human-breathable atmosphere exists on Mars. With the air on, the interior work begins. Robots furnish the empty tunnels, turning them into corridors.
Creating a breathable atmosphere is just the start. You have to constantly scrub the CO2 and circulate the air.
And then there was light. The first Martian sunrise deep beneath the ground. A new road on a new world, paved by machines for the humans who will follow. The city expands, creating junctions and side streets, a growing subterranean network. And creating exits, a network of tunnels connecting the underground city back to the surface world. Connecting the levels, the first Martian elevator linking the city below with the sky above.
The design is redundant. If one tunnel collapses or is sealed, there are always at least two other ways to get between any 2 points in the city.
And on the surface, almost nothing has changed. The true scale of the construction is completely hidden. A shelter is built, a fortress against the void, a promise of a new home. A city built entirely by machines, a new kind of construction for a new kind of world. The first Great Hall is complete, the future town square of Mars Base Alpha.
In 1 year, they have built a radiation-shielded, pressurized, multi-level city deep beneath the Martian surface. The engineering is breathtaking. They have shelter. But shelter is not life. The most complex manufacturing challenge is still ahead.
The arrival of the fourth ship, not carrying builders, but the tools to create life itself. The Life Support Factory, a chemical plant designed to turn the dead Martian environment into the building blocks of a civilization. On the surface, a new kind of factory is built, the most important factory in human history. And with the refinery built, the hunt begins, the hunt for Martian water.
The water isn't on the surface. It's frozen, buried meters below the dust. We know where it is. Now, we have to get it.
The mole begins its work, drilling down to the hidden resource that will give the city life. And they find it. A massive ancient glacier of frozen water, the key to everything. Melting the ancient ice and pumping it to the surface. For the first time, liquid water flows on Mars.
They have power, they have shelter, and now they have water. The 3 pillars of survival are in place.
But to create a true city, you need one more thing, a highway back to Earth. A pipeline is laid, carrying the most precious resource on Mars back to the factory. The first ingredient arrives. The refinery now has water. Meanwhile, the second ingredient is harvested. A massive compressor freezes CO2 directly out of the thin Martian atmosphere.
With water and power, the first miracle can happen. Electrolysis, using electricity to split the water molecule
Into its component parts, breathable oxygen and hydrogen. The oxygen, the very air the colonists will breathe, is captured and stored.
But the hydrogen is used for the second miracle, the one that creates a highway back to Earth.
The Sabatier reaction, a 100-year-old chemical process repurposed for Mars. The process combines the hydrogen and carbon dioxide to create 2 things, more water and methane.
And methane is rocket fuel, the very same fuel the Starship used to land. This factory is making the fuel for the trip home.
And for the first time, a rocket is being refueled on another planet. And deep beneath the ground, the city takes its first breath. The air is on. And the water flows, the refinery providing pure, drinkable water for the future colonists.
Power, shelter, air, and water, the 4 pillars of survival, all manufactured on-site from the resources of Mars.
With air and water, the final piece of the life support puzzle can be built. The farms. The first seed is planted on Mars, a new hope for a self-sustaining food supply. And life finds a way. The first Martian harvest grown in a subterranean garden. A complete, self-sustaining ecosystem. A city, not just of machines, but of life. And as the base becomes self-sufficient, a new clock begins to count down. Back on Earth, the final piece of the puzzle is prepared. Not a ship of cargo, but a ship of people. The first colonists, ready to make the journey to the city that was built for them.
This is the moment, the culmination of all the construction, all the engineering. The reason for building the city is finally coming.
A new journey begins, a 7-month voyage between 2 worlds. The factory has done its job. The city is ready for its people. The refinery has one more job, producing nitrogen, the key ingredient for creating fertilizer for the farms. A fully closed-loop agricultural system. Nothing is wasted.
This is the most important factory on Mars. It's not making fuel, it's making food. It's the difference between a temporary outpost and a permanent city.
And with the city built, the robotic army rests. Their monumental task is complete. The factory has done its job. The city is ready. But the true scale of Mars Base Alpha is hidden beneath the dust. A stunning reveal. A multi-level radiation-proof city. A hidden jewel beneath the red sand. The main streets of Mars. Clean, pressurized, and ready for life. And the green heart of the city. Farms, powered by nuclear energy, growing fresh food under a synthetic sun. A home, waiting. Every system green, every resource abundant. And the final arrival, the most precious cargo of all, humanity. A new dawn, a new world, seen through human eyes for the very first time. The final touchdown, bringing humanity to its new home. And the first human steps, not just on Mars, but into a city built by machines for them. Walking towards the airlock, the gateway to a new civilization. The final seal, entering the city, leaving the harsh Martian surface behind. Pressure equalized. The inner door opens, revealing a new world. The first human glimpse of their new home, a thriving oasis beneath the dust.
The first city on Mars wasn't built by human hands. It was built by an army of robots, as a testament to human ingenuity.
A new home, forged in the red dust and powered by dreams. A new light, shining in the darkness. A new future for humanity on another world.
To see what they build next, subscribe to NEXTGEN Manufacturing.